Hey, what's up, everybody? Here I am, Von Russell Jr., aka King Von Jr. From Von's World. You could follow me on Twitter at King Von Jr. 720, and you can also find me on Facebook, facebook.com/VResper, and also my show on blogtalkradio.com, Von's World. That's what the name of it is, and my host name is King Von Jr. But anyway. Wow, this week, I try my best, just to ignore the garbage that comes out of Skip Bayless's mouth. You know what I'm saying? But in this case, I have no choice but to address this. And of course, as we all know, Skip was blasted by Kevin Durant. With Durant, which Skip thought was his boy. Which Skip thought, which Skip has always been a fan of. And Skip never thought that Kevin Durant, would say this type of stuff that he said about him. He thought he wouldn't come out like that on him. But about last week or so, Kevin Durant said Skip didn't know what he was talking about as far as basketball. Looks like Skip opened up another can of worms. I tried to try my best, to at least avoid it. But when Oklahoma City beat Milwaukee and Russell Westbrook outscored Durant like 24 to 19, Skip just opened up another can of worms where he said that he would take Russell Westbrook as the MVP. And I addressed this crap earlier on, during the season. As far as Rick Bucher putting Westbrook in his top 7, but leaving Kevin Durant out. I even took out time, out of my schedule to even write an article about it, about ESPN's stupidity. You know what I'm saying? And so apparently they're at it again. Skip goes wild again. In this case, he talks about Westbrook being the MVP. Obviously he has a beef with LeBron. You know what I'm saying? And first he had Kevin Durant as the MVP, and by far, KD and LeBron are the front runners, the head and shoulders in the neck and neck in the MVP race. And Westbrook is, at best like number 5 at least, in my book. So obviously, Durant must be Skip Bayless's next enemy. So he skipped from having Durant at number 1, skipped right over him, no pun intended, and took Russell Westbrook and pulled Westbrook all the way at the top spot. You know what I'm saying? So Westbrook at best is at least 5th. You know what I'm saying? So and it's just a case of him being caught up in the moment, being a spur of the moment, no pun intended again, because he likes San Antonio. It's a spur of the moment type of thing. Where Skip reacts. Skip reacts with his feelings being hurt. About by his favorite player, so to speak. Making those comments about him. And just out of nowhere, like just bringing Westbrook all the way up front. Ahead of KD and LeBron, and KD is clearly has got to be clearly the leader of the Oklahoma City Thunder, no matter how well Westbrook performs. You know what I'm saying? No matter how great Russell Westbrook does, the system for the Oklahoma City Thunder starts and ends through Kevin Durant. Westbrook is just a terrific sidekick. Of course, that just because my thing is just because there have been stretches of games where Westbrook has outplayed Durant. I'll admit that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I find it crazy. I find it crazy for Oklahoma City, just to automatically switch roles like that out of nowhere when they were extremely successful for these past 2 seasons, where Kevin Durant has led the league in scoring. You know what I'm saying? In 2010, Durant, set a record as the youngest scoring leader in NBA history at the age of 21, with of course a career high over 30 points per game. Of course he led the league in scoring again, slightly down, like low over 27, nearly 28 a game. But last year, OKC came within. They took the Mavericks to the full 7 games. Okay, and of course, not I don't want to hold this continuously against Westbrook, but the main guy that shot them out of the game was Westbrook. Of course, Kevin Durant has been. My point is, Oklahoma City's been this successful with Durant at the forefront. There's no reason, there's no way for them to change that system right now. Anyway, of course, there's no way. Since Durant has been more consistent as a leader, especially these past 2 seasons, and for the most part, even this year, there's no way you could just switch around and have Westbrook jump up out of nowhere when for the most part on a consistent basis, KD and LeBron, especially when you look at the numbers between Kevin Durant and Westbrook. I even have them. I'm even looking at them right now by way of NBA.com. Okay. As a matter of fact, like I said, I've done an article about this before earlier in the season. Just ESPN stupidity at its highest, at its worst. That's the name of it. Posted all over, even on BlitzSportsNetwork.com. You name it. And I've gotten quite a bit of positive feedback about it. So anyway, tail of the tape: Kevin Durant versus Russell Westbrook. Durant 27.5 points per game, Westbrook 24.2. Durant 7.9 rebounds per game, Westbrook 4.6. Okay, that's 2-0 so far. Anyway, assists per game, Westbrook has the advantage, 5.4. Durant 3.5. Of course, Westbrook's the point guard, we expect. Steals per game, it's not, steals per game is actually pretty close. Westbrook has a slight edge, 1.7 to Durant's 1.4. Okay, it's only a 0.3 difference as far as steals per game between them. As far as blocks per game, of course, Durant has the advantage, 1.2 to Westbrook's 0.2. Field goal percentage, Durant at 50% even, Westbrook 465, 46%. Free throw percentage, Durant has the advantage again, 85%, 0.856 to Westbrook's 0.825, 85%, 82% from the free throw line. 3-point percentage, Durant, the advantage again, 0.379, 37%. Westbrook, 0.328, 32%. And of course, minutes per game, KD 38.6, Westbrook 35.5. And I must say, Westbrook, has improved in his 3-point shooting, as of late so far, compared to my last article, the last article that I wrote about them. What I'm saying? So, of course, this is obviously, I say this to say that this is obviously, a mind game, just a mind game by Skip Bayless. So I think more so a mind game, on both Durant and Westbrook, just to create some, just once again, the media's attempt, to cause division, among a group of, just outstanding, just dynamic, young, great athletic players, who are just building a great, core, a great system. Just creating the building blocks, for a potential soon-to-be championship team. So of course, this is, like I said, this is just another ploy by the media to cause division, between the top 2 stars on a very young and dynamic team in Oklahoma City. The team that is, of course, the team that's the future of the NBA. Of course, going within like the next 10 years or so. And so it's just been constant attack. I believe I definitely believe it's been like a constant attack all throughout the season. Just to cause a build up, just to cause friction, just to cause division, and I definitely believe this is nothing but a ploy. Of course, especially by Skip Bayless. And before I go any further, I just want to say it's funny that Bayless says Westbrook is the MVP, but yet throughout the most part, Skip Bayless has been famous for criticizing Russell Westbrook. He's been notorious for criticizing this guy just almost as much just as much as he is for criticizing guys like LeBron and Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, has also been on Skip Bayless's hit list, for quite some time, so far. So, just the fact that he would take a guy, that he just loathes, that he just dislikes in Russell Westbrook, and put him as the MVP over a guy that he absolutely loves, like Kevin Durant. So that all it is a mind game, and of course I want to close, definitely want to close out, by saying that Jalen Rose gave this guy the ether, on the episode on Tuesday, man. He lit Skip Bayless up and took him straight to school. Of course, by talking about the fact that that Skip Bayless, Skip Bayless wasn't even like a start on this high school team or something like that. They made it to the national, the state championship, and lost or whatever. But the thing is that Skip Bayless only averaged like 1.4 points per game. Within his course of like 22 games. So that means throughout that whole time, he only made like 1 point a game. Of course, Bayless has gone on to say that that he was famous for shooting the ball too much and all this stuff. But yet, on First Take, he's the main one that criticizes guys, who shoot the ball a lot. Guys like Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook. So so that's a huge irony. That's a huge contradiction. So basically, Skip is hating the very thing that that he was criticized of being. And Skip Bayless, Jalen Rose called him like a watered down Pistol Pete Maravich or something. So that that was just that was just absolutely just straight awesome. It was all over Twitter. You name it. So big ups to Jalen Rose. And Tuesday, it was like one of the first times I've actually seen Skip Bayless get quiet. Skip actually got quiet. So that was straight awesome. He made Skip Bayless know his role and shut his mouth. So but yeah, as far as KD and Westbrook, I still see Kevin Durant, as the constant leader and the alpha dog for this team. So even he said his job is to be more of a playmaker. So that's why he said he's creating more opportunities, more time for guys like James Harden and Cephalosha, along with Westbrook. But at the same time, still playing at a very strong level himself. So just because Westbrook's having a nice string of really good games, let's still not jump the gun and and give the title over to Westbrook. So it's for me, taking Westbrook, giving him more MVP votes than Kevin Durant is it's just like Lakers three-peat years. It's just like giving Kobe more MVP votes than Shaq during the three-peat run. It's just like giving Scottie Pippen more MVP votes than Michael Jordan. It's just like giving Clyde Drexler more MVP votes than Hakeem Olajuwon. It's just like giving Tony Parker more MVP votes than Tim Duncan. You cannot do that just because those guys guys like Pippen and Kobe had the ball in their hand the most as far as dribbling up the court. They still the offense, the team still ran around the alpha dogs like the Jordans, the Shaqs, Hakeems, Duncans, you name it. Kevin Durant in this case is the perfect example. Just because Russell Westbrook has the ball in his hand the most, he has a higher usage percentage. Kevin Durant is still more productive because, as I've said before, because of the numbers. Like I said, Durant still averaged more points per game, more rebounds, more blocks, higher field goal percentage, free throws, you name it. So, don't change the dynamic at all. If the shoe fits, wear it, don't change it. Kevin Durant's still the MVP, man. And I'll definitely be talking about this later on shortly. So peace.